Whoa, it's magic.
I always want to hit like a hi hat, like a cymbal, like on the last part. I want to just. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to. I feel like I need a crash cymbal there or something like that.
Just a classic comedy beat.
Exactly. But how we doing, buddy?
We're doing great, bud. We are doing great. We just watched a new trailer. It is Thursday. I'm Mike.
I am Brendan.
This is Two Dudes Wearing Hats. Thank you for tuning in, watching wherever you get this show, whether it's through youtube.com or twitch.tv, both / at Two Dudes Wearing Hats, or you go to 2dwh.com. Takes you right here. Yeah. So, what's up, dude?
What's up with you?
We just watched a trailer.
Yeah, we watched a trailer. Happy Gilmore 2.
I was very happy with the way. I was very happy with the way it turned out, because this is one of those, like, you can mess a movie up by doing a sequel 20 something.
Yeah.
Year. I want to say that movie came out in like 1990 something.
Yeah, I will. I'll check it up real quick and find out.
We're talking
20
something years since this movie came out, and now they're finally doing
1996. So yeah, 20 years.
1996. So we're almost at 30 years.
Almost 30 years. Wow.
Almost at 30 years.
And at the beginning, I mean, from the trailer, you can tell like he's famous because his head is on his statue is next to Nicholas, Arnold Palmer,
Tiger Woods, Arnold Palmer, and then he calls himself SpongeBob because the statue has some very large teeth, kind of calling out. Was it Ronaldo?
I think so. Yeah, he had the real bad statue.
Yeah, the really bad looking statue of himself.
Ronaldo had a terrible one. Yeah, awful. It's one of the worst
awful
likenesses and comparisons that I've ever seen. But it's real bad. I'm excited though. A lot of times you see a trailer like that, and I thought when I first heard about it, I went, "No, please don't. It's gonna be stupid." I'm excited to see it. I want to see it. I think it's
stupid in a good way, which it kind of needs to be.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I'm excited about with this movie, but I think the first biggest thing that I love about the entire idea is he's himself. He's literally just happy. Like he's just a bitter old golfer.
Yeah.
Like, not much changed in the character. It's not like, oh, we came back and met him and something crazy happened.
No. He's just older. And
he's older.
Kind of retired, I would assume.
Yeah, it looks like he's retired. It looks like he might have he has kids and stuff now.
There's some cameos.
Probably his big priority.
I don't know. I saw his love interest from the first movie, who I won't lie, is kind of a celebrity crush of mine.
Really? Was that your first?
No, there's been so many. I think probably the first celebrity crush, like serious, was like where it was like that might be Gwen Stefani back in the day.
Elaine from Seinfeld.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The Don't Speak video for me.
I'm a weirdo.
Nah, it happens. But Julie Bowen, she's the mom on Modern Family, blonde hair. Yeah. She was the tour director, the public relations director, or whatever it was in the first movie.
Yeah. And it sounded like from the sound they're married.
Maybe
were married or something.
I'm not sure. I saw John Daly in what looked like a wheelchair in there for some reason. Did you see that?
Yeah, John Daly's in the trailer. Shooter McGavin is in the trailer. There's a bunch of like Scotty Scheffler. There's a bunch of like real world golfers that are in like, and that's always been an Adam Sandler movie thing, is to get a bunch of athletes in there to do things and to have roles. He likes sports.
And his friends.
Yeah, his friends.
The guy who was twisting his nipples in the one.
Yeah, so I mean, he's always getting athletes in things and doing sports related movies because that's just what he likes, which is fine. He makes those really movies? Well. Longest Yard.
Is
that the one? Longest Yard.
I forgot about that. That was a good one. Yeah, that had a lot of people in it. That had wrestlers in it. That had football players.
Now I'm gonna have this moment where I'm trying to think of Adam Sandler.
Oh, he said Waterboy. There's a good one.
Adam Sandler. What? IMDb. So here's what the show is.
Oh boy, this is what we're doing. This is just the IMDb lookup
Adam
show.
Sandler's.
Let me tell you what's going on in March Madness, because that's what else is going on, Mike. It's madness. It's March. Drake is up on Missouri 30-25. No field goals taken since 5:22 in the first half for that guy. Oh, that's pretty bad when that's your star player. Kansas has come back on Arkansas. Texas A&M's up on Yale. Did you fill out a bracket?
I didn't fill out a bracket this year.
No, what are you doing? You get a free
deadline.
You get a chance to do a free one even on your betting app.
The deadline.
Did you know that the odds of getting a perfect bracket are bigger odds than hitting a Powerball lottery multiple times?
Well, because at the end of the day, you're making like 70 choices.
Oh my gosh, it's so many. Yeah.
And so you have
and if one of your earlier choices misses, you're fucked. It all comes down to your earlier choice.
Yeah. You can be out first round if something goes awry. So you kind of have to pick. Which the thing is, normally they're like pretty obvious in the first round who's going to go.
You would think there's already some upsets. I picked one of the upsets earlier and got lucky and got it right. There's another upset that happened that nobody really saw coming. McNeese State knocked off Clemson. Although McNeese State was a 12 seed, Clemson was a 5 seed, and every year a 5 and a 12 will win. It always happens. A 12 seed always will upset a 5 seed. It happened twice last year. We're talking whiskey. What do you got?
Some of the members, Mark. We're still drinking that Sam's Club whiskey, brother.
You're still drinking the Sam's Club, the members, Mark. I am back to the Death Star.
The Death Star.
This is a Death Star with a flat bottom, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of melted a bit. Mm-hmm. But you're on the members, Mark. I'm still on
the Maker's Mark.
Maker's Mark.
So the big thing, though, and we saw that in this new movie, a lot of the older characters are back. As you said, the love interest is back.
Ben Stiller's character who took care of his grandmother.
Returns, Shooter McGavin returns. It looks as though Bad Bunny is the caddy.
That's what I thought too. It looked like Bad Bunny to me. And it looked like the guy who broke it over his knee when that happened.
Yes. The 100% Bad Bunny is the caddy.
I have a question. I wonder if there's going to be an homage to the fight with Bob Barker. Who's the celebrity that he's going to get in a fight with? Could it be Bad Bunny?
No, Bad Bunny's clearly the caddy. He's wearing the thing.
Yeah.
And like I think I've seen another poster where he's like behind him, like his I think that's his caddy. I wonder if that's what Travis Kelce's doing, because Travis Kelce is something in that movie. Okay. What if that's the celebrity
that Adam Sandler beats the shit out of?
That he has to play with, and he gets.
Oh wait, no, Bob Barker beat the shit out of him. What am I thinking?
Yeah, Bob Barker kicked his ass.
Wow.
And only if Travis
Kelce gets his ass kicked,
bitch.
Kansas up 67-66 with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left. I did pick Kansas.
Meanwhile, Blue Jackets versus Panthers, 0-0. 24 shots on goal, 24 shots by the Panthers, 20 by the Jackets.
Why
11 left in the third.
Why watch the sports when you can watch us? We'll just tell you what the fuck's going on.
We'll just tell you
67-67, Arkansas and Kansas. 34-27, Drake and Missouri.
Stupid things. We'll tell you scores.
Drake is currently looking to upset Missouri. I don't know where Drake's at, but I know that Lamar
Drake
thrashed him at the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
So yeah, March Madness. You're not in any bracket. I
haven't had enough time I haven't paid enough attention to it this year to where I would just be guessing.
Oh, Bob's got a score update for us as well.
Ooh. Let's
Avs
go Avs.
Up on Ottawa 5-0. Go Avs. Fuck you both. I never liked the Avs. It was back when I was a Red Wings fan.
Yeah, but what are you going to cheer for, Ottawa?
Oh, absolutely. Get as many Canadian teams in the playoffs as possible. You get that really fun international feel. It feels like you're doing the Olympics. I love international competition and stuff like that. I also love the original 6. So, I mean, as many of the original 6 and as many Canadian teams, you got to have the Montreal Canadiens in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're one of the best teams in the league.
You got to have the Maple Leafs in there. When I was a kid, I was a goalie and loved Felix Potvin.
You got to have the Bruins in there.
You can't go without the Blackhawks or the Red Wings.
Blackhawks, Bruins, Red Wings,
Philadelphia Flyers.
I think if you got to see, I'd make the argument if somebody had to get cut.
You're cutting the Flyers.
If we're starting to have the conversation of like, let's say 4 teams get picked into like the biggest tournament of all time, and it's not based on like records at all. It's based on market and marketability and name. I think you do
now.
Canadians. Hold on, you can hear me out. Canadians, Leafs, Blackhawks, Bruins.
That's
America versus Canada.
It's pretty good, but I feel like, and I can't believe you're not saying this with your
who I want to say. You know who I want to say.
Are you wanting to say Edmonton?
Yeah, Edmonton should absolutely be. But I'm talking about.
I feel
who more people would tune in to watch.
I feel like the population of. I feel like north of the border, Edmonton would get the tune in, maybe more than Toronto. I don't know.
See, that's the thing. No, Toronto. I think Toronto would have it. Toronto,
Ontario, Edmonton, Alberta. I don't know. Man, what a fun debate that I did not expect to have.
But if you put it, well, also, hold on.
Calgary.
If
Vancouver covers the West, maybe even some of Alaska. Now we're just trying to figure out.
I feel like
which Canadian teams are the biggest market.
So I feel like we have to turn this random hockey tournament that we created, into a 3-on-3. Then I feel like that's only fair, because then if that's the case, we're going Canada. We got to go. Do we go Vancouver? Montreal? Toronto's. I hate to say it. If you're like,
I feel like Toronto, Montreal, and Edmonton have to be there. I feel like Toronto, Montreal, and Edmonton have to be there.
I would love to see Edmonton.
Calgary, Vancouver, and Ottawa are your 3.
That's my favorite Gretzky. I would love to see it. Connor McDavid rules. So, okay, hold on. One more time. Say yours.
No, the 3 that would have to be there. I if you're doing like 3 for the big market. Edmonton, Montreal, Toronto.
Okay, Edmonton, Montreal, Toronto. America. Blackhawk. Every time I say it, I believe it less. Red Wings.
Even if you hate them, it's got to be the Red Wings.
Red Wings.
The New York Rangers are hard to doubt too.
I don't want to do it.
What, the Rangers?
I don't want to do it.
Or the Bruins? Oh, Bruins.
I don't want to do the Rangers.
The
Rangers.
Bob's gonna fight the Avs.
No, they're not. They're great, but they're not. They're not that.
Avs.
We're picking 3.
Bob's gonna come to your house.
American teams. Kings would go before the Avs would go.
LA.
Kings aren't a bad call.
That's just Gretzky again. That's the Gretzky in you.
Ooh. Then we're doing Rangers, Blues, Kings.
What, you're just thinking about Brett Hall, Wayne Gretzky, and Mark Messier?
This team's Gretzky played on.
Oh, okay. I thought you were picking. I thought you were going for. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, just American teams that Gretzky was on.
Gotcha. So we're sipping on our whiskey. What have you been watching or playing this week? We'll start with you.
The wife and I have gotten more into Split Fiction.
Okay.
That game is fantastic. We had the first, like, okay, you got to beat a few levels and then you're going to fight a big boss. A big boss. So we beat the boss and it was fun in the story. Then we kind of stopped after that.
Okay.
There was a really cool, like, Tron bike race site in the Cyber City level.
Did it have something to do with being on a phone? at the same time?
Yes, one person was on a phone trying to disarm a bomb.
I saw
while one person's driving, like.
I saw about a 15-second clip of that and thought it's fucking brilliant.
It's incredible.
Whoever came up with it, how much fun it must be.
So much fun. I can't recommend that company's games enough.
I can't recommend that company's games. I'm looking forward to playing Split Fiction for sure.
Split Fiction's fantastic. If you haven't played It Takes Two,
and I haven't played It Takes Two
now.
I played A Way Out with you.
And I started playing A Way Out, and that was cool. I like that. But
yeah, we never finished it. I never finished it with either of you guys. I remember that we got out of the jail though and got to the woods at least.
I don't want to ruin without ruining it, because.
Well, don't ruin it.
Do you know the general story of the game?
Of what? A Way Out?
Split Fiction.
No, I don't know shit.
Okay, I don't want to tell you then.
Okay, yeah, don't tell me.
Yeah, I'm just not even going to tell you.
I'll try to start it.
Yeah,
Is it available? It's available on everything, right?
I think so. I got it on PlayStation.
You got it on PlayStation? Okay. Yeah. Okay. It looks like Arkansas might end up upsetting Kansas. 21 seconds left. It is a 4-point game for Arkansas, the number 10 seed over the 7 seed there. McNeese State beat Clemson earlier, 69 giggity to 67. And yeah.
Sucking.
Gonzaga beat Georgia's ass.
Really?
Yeah, Gonzaga beat. There was a point in the game, it was like 27, and Georgia had 3. It was like 9 minutes into the game I was watching earlier. They ended up
Bulldog, red and black Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
They did not start well. If you look back at that game, or if you watch any highlights on Sports Center later, there was a point where it was 20-something to 3, and they were 9 minutes into the first half. So they had gone 9 minutes and made, I don't know if it was a 3-pointer or 3 foul shots, but either way, that's not good. Yeah.
Something but net.
Maybe a bucket and a basket and a free throw. Mm-hmm. So it could be anything like that. So you've been playing Split Fiction. That's very cool.
Playing Split Fiction, TV wise. So I've been a third person finished Cobra Kai. Okay. I never watched any of seasons 1, 2, 3 up to I watched the last like 3 episodes with my wife while she finished it.
Okay. What'd you think? I haven't ever tuned in. Now I'll tell you, as a kid, I loved the fucking Karate Kid.
Pretty good.
I was really into it.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And what I will say about it is, okay, are you into like all of them, like all 4?
No. I was into the original Karate Kid. I even one year for Halloween did the skeleton thing, Johnny Skeleton. I mean, who didn't want to be Johnny and kind of be a part of Cobra Kai?
It seems like they do a great job of referencing a lot of the things from the movies.
Okay.
Of a lot of fan service. There seems to have been a
update. The Death Star broke.
There you go.
We're at the third movie. Sorry.
World building. They built their own little world in this show. I only saw the tail end of it. But you can tell a lot of stuff was built. A lot of things
really
were told. Like,
because I just sat there and went, okay, basically, Cobra Kai has their dojo. Ralph Macchio has his dojo. Game on.
I'm gonna tell you, throw your things out the window then, because that story kind of gets crazy.
Okay.
Like, I will tell you, everybody comes back. Like John Kreese, like everybody comes back. From the movies. What?
Poor Mr. Miyagi, Pat Morris.
Okay, well, I don't think he's not back. He's not back. Yeah, I don't think at least.
Okay.
I didn't see him in the show, but like, they do a great job of bringing a bunch of characters back and referencing a bunch of things. And okay, I get it for not recommending it or for not seeing the whole series. I'd recommend it.
Bob looks good. Johnny is the good guy.
Yeah. Like and the other guy is not the bad guy. Like Ralph Macchio is not the bad guy.
I don't know. I never trusted his ass.
Johnny's kind of the main character. He wrote Marvel Comics for a little bit.
He wrote what?
He wrote Marvel comics.
Like, oh yeah, which ones? Yeah.
Like he was a general writer, so you'd see him working on Spider-Man, and then working on Iron Man, and then working on X-Men.
No shit.
Yeah, he wasn't like a Stan Lee writer, whereas he was like I penned the whole story, but he was like when they say writers, he was one of the names.
Well, TIL. Today I learned. No shit. 39-28. Drake is up on Missouri. We are in the second half. Drake is the 11 seed. Say Drake. That's not gonna help you. Anyway, so that's cool.
Good. So how's your bracket looking then?
I have 2 losses that I know of, and I'm actually doing really well besides that. The 2 losses came off of one team that I had going 2 rounds. So I lost this round, and I've already lost a game in the next round. So that kind of that pisses me off a little bit. But that was the big upset earlier. McNeese State over Clemson. I had Clemson coming out 2 rounds.
Okay.
Clemson made it to the Elite 8 last year. They're a number 5 seed this year. Literally, I don't know that much coming in. I'm pretty blind this season, and I prefer it that way because the bracket, let's just let it happen, because I feel times that I've studied or know more, I end up doing worse. So, but yeah, that's what I'm kind of watching right now. That's what you're watching. That's what you're playing. I am watching the March Madness. I'm watching my 3 shows during the week. The old Extracted, Masked Singer, and I got to tell you what, man, if you're not watching Next Level Chef, even if you don't give a shit about cooking, that is a great show. That is a great show.
I was hoping, I was praying. What
were you?
That we were going to do this show.
Yeah.
And you were going to tell me.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what I watched?
What's that?
The Righteous Gemstones.
You know what? I'm going to watch it soon. I'm going to watch Righteous Gemstones. You know what? By next week, I will get at least 1 episode in. And if your show is so good, it'll probably be 2 or 3.
The 2nd episode of season 4 has aired.
I'm not going to watch the 2nd episode of season 4. I'm going to start with the first episode of season 1.
There is no greater show out right now.
Okay. I'll watch it.
This show.
I saw a trailer for it.
First off, you have to be ready to see a lot of dong.
What?
A lot of dong.
Why are we hanging so much brain?
Oh, it's a lot. I will say a lot. I say every season you're probably going to at least see 2 or 3 wieners.
43-28 Drake over Missouri. It's fine. I've seen Game of Thrones. It's good.
I still never have.
I have a gray hair or 2 in my beard. We're fine. I can handle. It's a penis. Shut the fuck up. All right.
It hangs there.
Well, now I don't even know if I want to see it, because the shit that I'm watching, the things that's hanging there, it's a pork loin. Okay, it's Next Level Chef. It's a pork loin. It's not a piece of penis.
You will die laughing.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll watch the show. I'll give it a chance. I will experience the show. I'll give it a chance. But yeah. And what am I playing? Oh, I know what I'm playing. Well, WWE 2K25. Very, very upset about that, by the way.
What's upsetting?
In my universe mode, something I did not plan to happen happened. Bronson Reed is running away with everything. He's taken the heavyweight title, and I can't beat him for it. He's owning it. He got it in the Elimination Chamber in Perth. It made sense, man, in Australia, and I wasn't even calling it. I was trying to put it on Punk at the time for a storyline where I was going to destroy Punk at WrestleMania, but now Bronson Reed's got it at WrestleMania. And
why are you destroying Punk? Why are you putting Punk down?
I was going to let Drew hit a fucking Claymore or 2.
Oh, God. Drew.
And then Drew's going to lose it eventually, too. But we got to move people around. Obafemi hasn't made the jump yet.
We got to drink a beer.
We got to drink a beer?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a second.
Yeah, a little bit left.
No, but what am I playing? Hang on. We do need to talk about this because that game is out for less than 24 hours. And that is Assassin's Creed Shadows.
So many people are playing this game. I'm never going to touch it.
I saw that it has already broken Steam records that the other Valhalla had for the Assassin's Creed series. So, like, in the series, it's kicking some ass. But I'm very happy to see. Here's my problem. I played 100%ed and loved Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
I mean, truly a game I will never forget. One of my favorite gaming experiences I've ever had. One of the most stunning games I've ever had. And then you tell me that my favorite game series, Assassin's Creed, is going to now do something in feudal Japan during the same exact time as Ghost of Tsushima. It's like, oh, well, this is going to be weird. And I thought I was going to hate it. Maybe enough time has passed, and maybe it's the combination that I feel like some of the story reminds me of the TV show Shogun that we talked about, and the one that won so many awards.
Yeah.
That this game really, to me, feels like a great combination of, if you love Shogun and the story and the feel of feudal Japan, and you love Ghost of Tsushima, I mean, it's all that. It's just so good. There's an immersive mode that I didn't turn on where it'll do only Portuguese and Japanese for the time period with the subtitles, and I was very tempted to do that. But for some of you who tuned in earlier, thank you. I know Bob tuned in, and we had a few people watching for a minute from Twitch apparently earlier that I don't know. Apparently they wanted to see Assassin's Creed, so it was a day of it was about 3 hours, Mike. I won't lie. That's what I'm trying to get at here. I unfortunately went down a rabbit hole of about 3 straight hours of gaming, and I haven't done that in a long time. And I can't tell if I'm disappointed in myself or it tells me that the game is just really fucking good.
It looks fantastic.
It really
Everything I've seen about it looks incredible. I'm never going to play it.
Yeah. You're just not an Assassin's Creed guy or a stealth guy?
No. I like 99%ed 2.
Ezio?
Ezio.
Yeah.
I couldn't get all of the kids' birds.
Oh God, that's so hard. I don't know.
Only thing I couldn't do, but I literally there was a time period where I had an Xbox without internet hooked up to it, and just I had that game, and just
they did Italy justice. They do history justice. That's what I love about those shows.
Through that game.
Yeah.
But that led me to get this, which I'm still working through.
Oh man, it's a good one. It's a good one.
I really enjoy it. It comes with Liberation.
Yeah, that's
which I haven't gotten to yet.
Do you know this? Do you know what the story of that is?
I barely remember the story of the first one. I'm actually, next time I pick it up, I'm gonna have to restart it.
Well, so this takes place in colonial America, but the add-on that they did, the expansion, was very unique, and it was, what if George Washington became a tyrant and declared himself a king and got a hold of one of those pieces of Eden and went a complete dark path in history. And it's a very cool way of looking at a different form of history and trying to take down the Mad King George Washington.
That's wild.
Yeah. So you'll have to definitely try the expansion, because in itself, it's a very unique story on its own. It's very cool.
It's weird when like those games go really left field like that. Like Red Dead Redemption all of a sudden did a zombie thing.
That was so unique. It's one of the only zombie experiences I liked. I'm not a big zombie player. Like people are like, okay, dude, I'm playing Call of Duty. I'm like, I'm not a big Call of Duty fan. Yeah, but it's got zombies. Didn't sell me. And
there was a time in my life.
I feel bad saying that. Like, I want to get into it. I want to try. Maybe I'll try again.
There was a time in my life where I played that Call of Duty Zombies religiously.
I've never played it.
And I played with a group of dudes, and we
I might love it. I've never
cycled that. We would play for hours and try to like get our level up on zombies and try to see how good we could get and how far we could go. Because it's about how many times. Have you played it at all?
No.
Okay, no. So
no. See, that's not fair. It's not fair that I don't give it a chance. You know what? I need to pop a beer too. God damn it.
Do you understand the concept?
Wait, we haven't popped a beer. You were going to. Yeah, I kind of understand the concept. Isn't it just waves of zombies?
Yeah. We'll pop a beer and then we'll jump into that. So, what do you got?
Well, no. We'll keep talking about that and then we'll pop a beer.
Well, I've got mine. I'm gonna go over mine.
Got? Let's go over yours.
It's from Florida.
Okay.
It's from Cigar City Brewing.
Never heard of them. I'm not familiar.
This is High Lie IPA. I love the packaging on here. This used to be a lot older of a style can. They would
Do you know how dangerous that sport is?
But this looks like almost look like a soda.
It does. It does. I like the old look of it. That feels like a 1980s Pepsi can or something.
Yeah,
and
this is their IPA.
Even the font. Do you know how dangerous that sport is?
Is that with the hook?
Highlight where they
swing it?
Yeah, I saw Johnny Knoxville get hit by one of the balls by one of the guys once, and the bruise that it left was unbelievable. Oh, I like the color of that. It looks like the bottom of the can almost.
It's got a nice tone.
It looks really pretty. What's the is that 50 West brewing glass that I'm seeing?
Yeah, 50 West glass. That's that one I got from the brewery at some point. Or from some bar. 7.5% ABV.
I have a glass that came out the same year as Happy Gilmore.
Ooh.
96.
Let's go.
See if it focuses in. Atlanta. It's an Atlanta Olympics glass. Sponsored by Bud Light. It was one of the things that came from my grandfather's collection. I am sporting a beer from a brewery who I know very well. I have bartended for them. I have delivered their beer. I've helped brew their beer. And on match days, we party there, and the march starts from there on the way to the stadium. That would be Northern Row Brewing's.
Northern Row.
This is their Hustler, the Helles Lager. It's kind of your, it's the house beer. It's kind of the go-to lager. Oops, there we go. Northern Row loves their lager. They actually do an event every year here in Cincinnati, and we should actually go down to it this year, maybe. Or it's called Lager Fest, and they get all the other breweries and everybody to get their lagers together, and they do just a celebration of lagers because Cincinnati has such a rich heritage with the underground lagering tunnels and with the beer history that they decided to do a festival of lager. And this is a German style light, traditionally brewed with all imported malt and noble hops, made for those who are always on the move, the go-getters of the world who appreciate both craft and unassuming drinkability.
Nice. All right. Cheers.
Hang on. Just topping it off my last little bit. Now we got a full glass. That's what you got there for our lager.
There we go.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Got to split the G, as the kids say.
Oh, yeah. Did you have a Guinness this week?
No. On St. Patty's Day, I worked, and then after work, I went down in my kitchen. I turned on Dropkick Murphys really loud. I drank a lager beer and did a shot of whiskey. That was my
happy St. Patty's Day.
And then I put dishes away.
Hey, whatever works. I actually had a Guinness yesterday. That was I got one in at my favorite Irish pub, Molly Malone's. For those of you, I'm just assuming most of you, from this point on, I'm just assuming most of you are in Cincinnati. We don't know Molly
Just Malone. Say it. If people don't know,
yeah. And it's such a fantastic place. Something about sitting at that bar, and they've recently changed their menu. There's so many things on there I need to try that I saw that were new, and that just different, unique things that they have, and stuffed mushrooms and portobello mushrooms, and make me happy. And yeah, bread pudding's back on the menu, and those little things that I wonder about when I'm at that same bar over and over again. I went out to do a photography day, so I stop at the bar to have a beer to psych myself up to go out and wander and take pictures of people with a camera. As weird as that sounds, I need a beer to motivate me not to feel awkward and just realize that I'm a person in the world taking pictures.
I've been taking advantage of the warm days by grilling and smoking meat.
Nice.
Smoked a meatloaf. A smoked meatloaf is good.
Meatloaf.
Very good. My wife and I have this recipe where she'll batch it up. She'll make this barbecue meatloaf with like pork sausage and like ground beef and like mix it all together, seasoning, breadcrumbs and all that. And then she'll like make like 3 meatloaves and then we'll freeze them.
Nice.
And then we just got them. And then you can cook it from frozen. So I'll take it frozen, rub some Worcestershire on the outside of it, put some seasoning on it, put it on the smoker for like 4 hours. 4 hours after that, drizzle some sauce on it, let that sauce caramelize. You got barbecue meatloaf. You slice it, you serve it. Put some mashed potatoes and some green beans on the side.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you do it as a entree, or are you a meatloaf sandwich guy? I know a lot of places.
I love
if they have a good
sandwich.
meatloaf. If they have a good meat, that's what I was going to say. I know I'm not the biggest fan. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not a fan. I'm just saying if a place has a meatloaf sandwich, they probably have one of my other favorite sandwiches, which would be, if there's a Cuban, I'm always going to take a Cuban first. I love a Cuban sandwich.
I'm just, so what relation is that? If they have one, they have the other?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, everything all right?
I saw something fall off the wall, but nothing happened.
Oh, man, he's got ghosts. This is going to be amazing. All right.
The spooktacular.
No better way to go viral than something shows up in the background of your video and scares the shit out of you.
Something grabs me from off camera.
Right. Perfect. It's one of those.
See, his look better than mine.
Hell, you got to get the hand turned right. Okay. Or fish hook yourself. Never mind. What the fuck has happened to this show? Not that kind of show. To this show.
So back to talking about beer.
Yeah, actually, I have an article about beer if you'd like to hear about beer.
You told me like there was something special.
Yeah, it's a unique article. It's kind of it's from Untapped. You're familiar with the app Untapped, right?
Yeah.
Untapped. They use the user ratings from their database of nearly 11 million people.
Okay.
Untapped recognized 26,004 of the world's top-rated beers with gold, silver, or bronze medals. And this is from 7,032 breweries across the globe. 267 beer substyles. Would you have known that there's 267 beer substyles?
Yeah, because it's like metal music where there's like 1,000 little divisional. Like I'll never.
It's a brown sour. It's an ale sour. It's a sour lager. It's a sour.
I was in a band and we were playing. We were setting up playing a show, and this other band. And you always try to be cordial. You would always like, "Hey, hi, who are you? We're this band. We're from Cincinnati. We're from blah 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 blah." What style are you? What do you sound like? Like, what do you like? What kind of band are you? We're misanthropic death metal.
What was your band when you were at the okay? There was a moment.
But can we talk about like misanthropic? Like you say, I don't
know what the fuck misanthropic is. I'm waiting for my fucking people to Google it over here and tell me about it.
Sad. It means sad.
Cool. I don't have people really. I was just hoping to pretend that I had people.
Okay.
No, let me ask you this. I was a performer. You were a performer. At one point,
yes,
I was really feeling my game as performing and knowing that I was. But looking back, there was also a point where I was at my douchiest of a performer. At your douchiest, what kind of band were you in? What would you have called it? What would you have called your metal? Or what was your douchiest genre?
Okay. At the height of my zeal and at the height of my assholery.
At the height of my assholery.
I was in a band called Sleeping Tigers.
Okay.
And we were a metal band, but we were like a super heavy, kind of hardcore-ish, like metal, like beat down metal band.
Yeah.
But we had a guy with super long hair and an 80s guitar that would just start going, yeah. Like he would.
What makes the guitar an 80s guitar?
It was big, and it's a big white flying V.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. The flying V.
Like
that's an 80s guitar.
Like he looked like he was in an 80s band.
My dad played a white bass for a long time.
He was incredible. He shredded. He was insane. And he had super long hair and a super long beard. He looked cool as fuck. Like he was amazing to be in a band with. but he just stuck out like we were all like hardcore dudes, like metal dudes, and then like that guy, and then the other we had another guy who like had the guitar really high up, like wore it really high, and like
was that your bass player? I'm assuming.
No, that was another guitar player. The bass player.
I thought we were playing bass real high.
No. But then I was.
For those of you curious, Drake is still beating number 6 Missouri 52-44 because you're here for your fucking
sports news
things.
But when I was
Texas A&M beat Yale, did you expect Yale to do? Sorry.
The drummer was a sweetheart. The drummer was one of the sweetest dudes on the planet. Nice guy, love him to death.
The sweetheart.
I was a pure prick. There was a point in that band where we had all loved the smell of our farts so much. And we were so full of ourselves and believed our own bullshit so much.
I just have the image of that South Park where
we would go to shows and antagonize each other. I'll never forget. We went to this show at this bar. The show at a bar. We're not that big. It's a show at a bar. Mm-hmm. And we're setting up on stage, and one of the things that I had was like I'd try to put some kind of box, something to put my foot on, because like part of like the whole like to metal sing to kind of get the position and to move and to put your foot on something and like be able to like kind of like move and knock out and stuff.
One of my favorite metal bands of all time. Well, I mean, I don't know what you consider your metal is that hardcore.
We'll play my bands on the show one day.
Okay, but I fell in love with a band by the name a little band from Germany named Rammstein. And when you mentioned the box, I realized the lead singer's foot is always up on something, Captain Morgan style. 100% of the time.
Yeah,
I was introduced to them when I was a fan of Orgy, and they were on the Family Values tour with Orgy. I was a big fan of Jay Gordon and Orgy and Brian Shuck, the guitarist, and I can't believe I still remember their fucking names because Blue Monday spoke to me, and then I'm like, they have other songs as well.
Candy Ass was a good album. I won't deny.
No, Stitches was one of the coolest songs, and then the one he did with Jonathan Gordon. I loved Orgy. That was good. And then they came back with that one album that was very like techno futuristic,
like Dreams in Digital or something like that.
Dreams in Digital.
Did you ever listen to Crossbreed?
I'm sure I heard some of it.
So
it sounds so familiar to me right now.
I saw Rammstein at Bogart's once. And
you saw Rammstein at fucking Bogart's?
Let me tell you this story.
How was Bogart's big enough for Rammstein? Like, what the fuck?
Spoiler, it wasn't. Spoiler, it wasn't. So,
dude, that's crazy. I didn't even know they were ever there.
I used to live this life in like high school. Middle school and high school.
That's almost like telling me they played at Sudsy Malone's.
where I would go after school. I would just go get on a bus and go. I played so many shows. I played at Sudsy Malone's more times than I can ever count.
I did one time at Sudsy's and one time at the Buzz, and they were some of my favorite shows.
So we go there. We go see Rammstein. I'm in high school-ish, like probably senior year. I'm gonna drink this beer as well.
No, you don't have to finish it because I don't have another one. We're just gonna wait till the end for me to have a shot. That's fine. I'm drinking faster than normal tonight.
So then, I go to the show.
Good night.
It's Rammstein, Godhead, and Crossbreed. Godhead was really good. Godhead was kind of a goth-sounding band. They played a cover of Eleanor Rigby that's fantastic. You would actually probably really like Godhead. Creed played Sudsy. I got Sudsy stories too. But so I go to the show that's Rammstein, Crossbreed, and Godhead. Crossbreed opens. Now Crossbreed is this band where they turn all
I know it's funny. I know that I have a Crossbreed song somewhere in a playlist that I
it's like do 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 do. It's like techno, like
I don't know, but probably knowing me.
They turn all the lights off in the entire venue and the whole they cover everything like black light paint and like blue light up tubes and everything, and like they're like 3 keyboard players and like 1 guitarist.
That was like the orgy show I saw at the fucking Bogarts.
They probably were on the orgy. They probably opened that show
because you know how Orgy's logo was like that. Like it almost looked like light tubes. The drummer had a drum set that was light tubes like that. Yeah. The upper drum set hanging was electronic. The lower drum set was normal. Every time he would hit one of these, it would shoot a light down. Like it was some just absurd shit. But
so we go there
anyway,
and Crossbreed plays. While Crossbreed's finishing up, the power blows in the entire venue.
At least the band didn't blow.
So then they get off stage, finish. They think the power comes back on. Godhead starts playing. They get 2 songs in. Power blows. Godhead just loads off stage. They're just like, we're not going to try to play any more songs. We sit in this venue for 2 hours while they try to get the power back on. And then finally Rammstein comes on and plays.
Oh my God.
But before they play,
what do they do for 2 hours, dude? It couldn't have been silence. Are you shitting me?
Before what happened, the fire marshal comes out right before they play.
Oh God.
Tells the venue, the barrier is not far enough from the stage.
Let me say this real quick.
Concert.
I'm not the Rammstein expert or anything, but I, as a young man on my VHS collection, there were 2 VHSs of bands that I watched constantly. One was Rammstein's Live aus Berlin, which was a weekend of shows in Berlin that they put together. And I know what their pyro's like. There's no fucking way their pyro was going to work in Bogarts. The other one was Dropkick Murphys live on St. Patty's Day at the Avalon Ballroom.
Well, here's the thing.
So good.
This was the Mutter tour. And on this specific tour, they were doing a weird thing where like they were doing a fire show and then a water show. Like they do, like how they did fire.
Are they fucking Cirque du Soleil?
No, I swear. The tour was they did some shows where it was like the normal like shooting fire out of everything, and then some shows they did just water. And so like I think they thought,
what is this?
It's how you get the water.
Can I tell you something really sad real quick?
Yes, and then I have to finish my Rammstein story, and then I got to finish my I'm a douche story. And then I have to finish my I'm in a douchebag in a band story that opened up the Rammstein story.
At work, my real job.
Okay. Yeah, we have jobs. We both have jobs.
Real job. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We're having fun. Anyway, at my real job, they have a thing up with sign language. It's constantly teaching you sign language. Hit subscribe. 2 dudes wearing hats. They have a thing. This is me going, you shouldn't tell this fucking story. No, they have a thing that's up with sign language. And the sign language for emergency is this. Every time I see it, this is emergency. And I want you guys to know, if you ever see me doing this, it's a fucking emergency. I need you to get me out of there as soon as possible. I'm sorry.
Just grab him by the shirt collar and go, get out of there. Get out of there.
No. No. Drop that.
No.
I hate my life right now. Anyway, Rammstein story. Rammstein is at Bogarts. Go.
Yeah, so then, like about 15 minutes before they were actually going to come out, the fire marshal comes out and says, this barrier is not far enough from the stage. So they tell the entire crowd, move back. A sold-out show.
A sold-out show at Bogarts. That room...
The power has been out for over an hour and a half-ish.
I haven't been to Bogarts that many times. I did see Orgy there, and I saw one other show there. I can't think of what it is, but they're like 2 tiers, right?
Yeah.
So you have a lower tier. You're just backing people up into a wall almost. I mean...
Yeah. I used to pay a dude for a music magazine, like a zine, there's like 4 pages of pieces of paper stapled together. But one of the important things on it, as a kid growing up in the metal scene before internet, he had somebody who was leaking the Bogart schedules like months ahead of time of who was coming to town. Yeah. So I was able to like scope out tickets. Like this is before you could just go. This was when you couldn't go online and buy tickets. You had to go to like Kroger or go to a Ticketmaster outlet and buy a ticket.
Kroger.
You go to Kroger and you go to the customer service desk and you go, I need to buy a ticket through Ticketmaster, and that's how you That's how you used to buy tickets. That's how you used to get tickets to go to things.
I did a 9/11 tribute show that I remember at Walnut Hills High School. It was called A Magical Tribute to Heroes and Victims. I decided to organize.
Where is the story going that relates to the Kroger?
The only way to buy tickets for my show, I had to tell people they had to go to Kroger to get them, because I didn't realize to get a ticket to my fucking show, it was through Ticketmaster. You had to go to Kroger. And so, yeah. Anyway, Rammstein told people to back the fuck up.
Yeah, so the entire crowd had to move back about 20, 30 feet. And then they came out and played. And then they did the fire show, even though I don't think they were supposed to do the fire show.
Did they do the thing where like their microphones are on fire? Their microphones are wrapped in aluminum foil.
He had a bow and arrow that shot flaming arrows.
He plays that on Du Hast and he spins it around in a circle.
They had some contraption on the balcony. So I think it was on a wire. So
the arrow that he fired.
It went into something that caught it and securely.
I've seen it several times.
Took it in.
If you look up them doing Du Hast live, that's when they usually fire the arrow, and it's on a fucking line. But
no, we got a full Rammstein show. He had this jacket where during My Hers Brent, My Heart
he was
burns.
on fire.
No, it's just the heart, like the heart. The heart spot just burned, and eventually where the heart was started shooting fire.
Oh, I've never seen that one.
That was cool as fuck.
He used to wear a jacket that was long, and he would do it on Rammstein, the song, where he had a trench coat that was a fire coat that would burn, and he wore glasses that had a single laser beam that shot out of one eye. So the smoke that was coming off of the jacket, he's shooting a laser beam out of his eye through it as he looks through the crowd in all these different directions. Like, I mean... Their show is so freaking cool for the pyro.
But then to the Sudsies point, after that, they went to Sudsies.
Wait, Rammstein went over to Sudsies?
And then there was a riot at Sudsies because all the Rammstein fans piled in there because they found out Rammstein was there, and then Rammstein got carted out through the back.
For those of you not familiar, or those of you not from the area, or those of you who are too young to remember is probably what this is going to be, because you're probably from this area and you're probably too young to remember. But Sudsy Malone's was, I mean, would you say
magical.
a laundromat performance center?
It was a laundromat with a venue stage.
Yeah.
The stage had a window behind it. So if you were a drummer band, your back was against glass that faced the busiest, craziest, wildest street in all of Cincinnati. Like, if trash and people are fighting, it's happening behind the band. And it was the most magical place on the planet.
Oh, man.
I sat on washing machines and watched death metal bands. I have seen legends sitting on a dryer, dude.
You were up there watching death metal bands while I was down doing magic at the Buzz coffee shop for artsy people with their coffees in front of them.
Then I'd go down to the Buzz and get that stupid Pink Bunny drink they had that was just like, it was like a hot chocolate. It was a hot chocolate, but they used strawberry Nesquik instead of hot chocolate powder. And then they would put like whipped cream and a little chocolate covered espresso. This is in like 1990.
Fuck me, that sounds really good.
To like 2001. So like this is before like coffee, like fancy coffee drinks. So this was like very like.
Of course, it's before fancy coffee. It's strawberry Nesquik.
Right, but I was saying this is before like people got like frappuccinos at Starbucks or that kind of shit. Like this was like, oh my god, they do what? They do what? Like it was crazy. And you'd go in there and they'd look at me like I was dirty because I was a long-haired metal kid walking in there. It's like, could I get a Pink Bunny?
Bob said he saw Creed there before they were super huge. You know who I saw before they were super huge? This is kind of fun to think about. Like, is there anybody you saw who was like the backup act for somebody before they were big?
Before you say that,
Yeah.
To tie into this.
Okay.
You know KMFDM?
Yeah, absolutely.
Also,
I know the Mortal Kombat soundtrack. You son
also
of a
played Bogarts and went and saw them. They also went across the street to Sudsy's, and like I got to walk in and just like sit next to dude at the bar and was like, "Hi."
That's awesome.
Like,
heck yeah.
It was so like it was so weird. Like one day I got to play Bogarts when I was old. Years later, I got to play that stage and go backstage and go to all those like little rooms and everything there. And that was the wildest feeling because after seeing so many bands, like I can't go back where they're at, and then turn around and be like, "Oh, there's nothing back here." There was actually incredible green rooms. One of which I passed out in once.
No shit.
Opening for Cannibal Corpse, I passed out in the green room and then like was asleep on the street. Awesome. Yeah, I was in a band. We opened for it was a festival. There was a Cannibal Corpse and a bunch of other bands playing, but like the green room they were in, we were all like, "Sure, let's get drunk," and then I passed out after our set.
I've been in some comedy green rooms that were interesting, but who would you say that you saw? Is there anybody you can think of that you saw before they were big? That was
oh god.
I've got a funny one it's funny every time it comes to mind. Is I went to see Three Doors Down specifically, but they had a band opening for them that I hadn't heard of yet called Nickelback.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, Superman had come out. If I go crazy, then will you still call me? But yeah, Nickelback was there, and they were opening for him. And I was like, these guys aren't too bad. Little did I know that they would become the butt of every joke 20 years later.
A lot of my answers to that would be in the metal scene.
Yeah.
Or there's a lot of like this person who I know is in this other band is now in this band.
Yeah.
That's like huge. Like there's a band called Spirit Box that is like a metal band that's like getting super huge right now. They have a female singer. And just the other day, I realized, oh, she used to be in a band called I Wrestled a Bear Once. That I used to know.
Wait.
Yes, I wrestled a bear once. I wrestled a bear once. The once is in the band name.
That is an amazing name.
Yeah, I wrestled a bear once.
Great name.
Dude, the names of some of these bands that I knew.
That almost is like sounds like a craft beer name.
Some of the bands that I've played with and some of these band names, like 80,000 Dead, a Present Day Nightmare.
I don't care. Nothing's gonna beat I Wrestled a Bear Once.
Yeah, I Wrestled a Bear Once is pretty brilliant
fucking name.
There's a metal band called Job for a Cowboy.
Job for a Cowboy.
Job for a Cowboy. I'm going to show you Job for a Cowboy one day.
Coming close to I Wrestled a Bear Once. This might have to be
a segment. Is Mike shows Brendan death metal bands.
I am so much more into this than you showing me annoying hip hop, because I don't have a problem. Like, no. Here's the thing: the hip hop music that you show me is so dumb. It's just dumb. You find the dumbest of the dumb on purpose.
I do.
Every video you show me is someone with a cellulite ass on the screen.
It's usually Glow Roller.
It's so dumb. I'm done seeing cellulite, Mike. I want to hear the music.
Get this ass off my screen. Get this ass out of my face.
I'm sorry. So yeah, that was fantastic.
So back to my story about being a jerk musician.
Being a jerk musician.
So we would antagonize. I told all of that story in history
to tell this story.
Bring it back around of. Wow, it's really anticlimactic now, because really all that story was about that we used to be such jerks to each other, and I had to borrow the guitar player's toolbox because he had a toolbox that had like guitar strings and like gear winders and extra guitar pieces, stuff you would need as a guitar player. And I borrowed that as my like Jim Beam, like Captain Morgan box. So this is what I'm gonna put my foot on when I'm screaming.
Put your foot up on when you scream.
Because I scream and I crouch down like I'm a pterodactyl. Wow.
Did you feel it the next day? Do you feel it? Do you take a day off vocally after?
This is gonna sound. This isn't a joke. I did classes to like not do that, to not ruin your voice.
No, I believe you paid somebody for that for some reason.
It was like a
a guy in an alley.
Yeah. He said, "Hold this."
Yeah, that's great.
Hold this.
Emergency. Sorry. Wait, what?
On that note, we're gonna just do a shot.
You want to do a shot? Wait. Oh, we're gonna do a shot.
Hey, if there's the story, I don't need to.
All right. Sure. Let me grab the bag. There it is.
All right.
The bag of shots.
I don't know if I want to.
For those of you in the wrestling business or who love the wrestling business, is it thumbtacks? Is it glass? Nope, it's shots. Speaking of, I'm not gonna go too far into it. Fucking wait. I'm not gonna go too far into it, but John Moxley is some of the dumbest shit I've seen lately. Don't do stupid shit that needs that many tetanus shots. You went too far.
I'm not even.
You've gone. You know what? We're not going to talk into it. We won't talk about
it. No. I'm not going to do the whole Mike hates an AEW wrestling thing.
You shouldn't say you hate it. You should say that you don't like pieces of it.
It's unwatchable.
Well, that's fine.
Unwatchable. There is nothing I see on that show.
All you need to do, let me tell you how I've been watching it lately, is I look up Will Ospreay highlights if there's anything new. There's usually not, but he's always fun to watch.
That's my problem. Is
he's always fun to watch. He's always fun to watch.
Everything he does is something you can see him do 5 years ago. A lot more limber.
Tune in just to see what Tony Storm says. Like I have access to it now, and I can't watch. I'm having trouble. It's almost. It reminds me of the time that I almost stopped watching Lucha Underground, and that's very hard for me to say, for me to ever stop watching Lucha Underground. Yes, Tony Storm is the number one thing, and that is what should be watched for AEW. But do you remember when Vampiro and Penta had a death match, and they started using the light tubes to cut open his mask and his face?
Yeah, but that was also Lucha Underground. In the context of these dudes wanted each other to die. They had already killed people on that show.
Yeah, Moxley and Copeland are just going, you know what? I feel like Adam Copeland did not have fun doing that.
WWE guys just like doing dumb things on television. And like everyone's like, it's just turn it off. You don't have to watch it.
It's just Moxley. He's going too far.
The problem is,
Renee, slow him down.
Wrestlers that work there, I want to watch. There are people that are at that company I want to see do cool things, but I can't wade through that pool of dog shit enough to see the cool things that I want to see.
Yeah, Bob agrees.
It's not worth it.
I agree with you too, Bob. It was too far last night. It's just. For a Wednesday night show. That's what you did on a fucking Wednesday night show? That wasn't even a once a year show or a once every 3 year show
That's why everybody defends AEW, and I'm like, this is what you get. Like
this is scary. It's getting scary.
This is where having what's your shot? This is where having MDK. What was his name? Who was MDK? Like
Murder, Death, Kill. It's
that guy on a few years ago.
The one that Moxley
the guy with the pizza cutter.
The one Nick Gage.
Yeah, that moron.
Moxley said it's the guy who always wore a mask except for when he robbed the bank.
Like this is where the evolution of like, it's fun to bring that in. Like nobody needs to do that kind of hardcore crap.
Okay.
On TV. Give me real
on a Wednesday night.
On anything.
On prime time.
I could see that happening on a pay-per-view main event. Something people paid $50 for.
All right.
I could see that.
We have 1 minute and 8 seconds left. It looks like Drake is going to upset number 6 Missouri. That's pretty shocking.
Do I want to do all three? Do I want to do 3 options, 2 options, or no option?
You know what? Can I do something very random?
Is there something you want to do that's in there?
I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight on Twitch and on YouTube. We have somebody who tunes in a lot. That's Bob. I'm going to give Bob the chance to pick your shot for you. Let Bob pick the shot.
He
Show
didn't
the
run this
colors.
by me. This is a partnership.
I know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have.
All right, so then we're gonna go. We'll let him do that.
I shouldn't have done this. But I'm drunk.
There you go. All right, I'm gonna call it 1, 2, and 3. So
Bob, you better be paying attention because remember, there's a slight delay. It'll take a second.
2, 1,
yeah,
2, 3. It's hard for me to do it.
You changed it 3 times.
I did. I know I did because I'm looking at a camera and trying to make sure I keep it right. So let's call it 1, 2, and 3.
He's just gonna pick a number 1 to 3. Bob, Jesus, I need you just to pick a number 1 to 3, brother.
1, 2, and 3.
So while that's happening, I'm gonna reach into my bag here real quick. Shake him up. Bob went with 2. Bob went with 2.
That's 2.
Tune in more often, and you can pick what Mike shoots.
That's not a thing. Don't make that a thing. Don't advertise that. Don't
every
make
night.
that
Tell
out
Mike
there
what to drink. Next week he'll do a shot of ketchup.
I'm about to say someone's gonna say gasoline.
No. Oh, dude, I'll do that.
Arsenic and water, motherfucker. I hate you. I hate this show. You guys don't talk about anything.
Or you could do something worse than gasoline and do Malort.
It took the one guy 30 minutes to finish a terrible story that had no ending.
No, seriously, what's the ending of that story?
I stomped on his box.
Up on the box.
We were mad at each other.
And that's the 2 lines we need. What's the ending of that story? I stomped on his box.
We were bitching and pecking at each other the whole time we were setting up. And at one point he goes, I put my foot on it. He goes, just don't break my box. I look right at him. I looked at him. I lifted my foot up and I smashed my foot as hard as I could on his toolbox. And we cracked the lid clean in half.
We saw, what did you say? It was the same way that we saw a bar manager do it to a table in Covington?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely the same way.
Absolutely. He kicked his backpack, and because he had a wireless guitar, he kicked his backpack and just walked out of the bar, walked out of the venue, and went and had to cool down for a minute.
All right. I've got 5 mystery shots in this bag. We went over them all last week. You guys know what they are. There's some shit in there. There's some okay stuff in there. I don't know, but I'm going to pull this, God damn it. It's the worst of the worst, bro. Of all the nights to do this, this is not the night for me.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy it's Pickles.
Oh,
he deserves God. Pickles. I'm so happy it's Pickles.
I'm so happy it's Pickles. What is that?
So happy it's Pickles.
Or when he used to sing
I'm so happy it's Pickles. It's a pickle for you. Put it in your mouth, Pickle. Hit the mic.
That was perfect. Oh, fuck you, Bob, for being excited, you prick.
He's got Pickles.
I'm gonna beat your ass on Mario Kart in a second.
Bird Dog S'mores.
S'mores, that sounds pretty good.
I know, you got Pickles. I'm thankful it's Pickles.
Oh, fuck.
All right. Ready?
Oh, dude, it's pickle juice. Dude, it's fucking pickle juice. You know what? I've done picklebacks on Jameson before and been fine with it, but this is all by itself. I'm not ready for just a shot of pickle.
No. Oh no, it smells disgusting. It smells terrible.
I bet it smells amazing. You shut the fuck up. It smells like chocolate, doesn't it?
Awful.
Does it smell like chocolate or marshmallow more? Toasted chocolate? I'm so jealous.
Here's the thing. There's a good amount of graham cracker scent in there. I would say
cinnamon. A little cinnamon. Is that what you're getting?
There's a little chocolate, but I would say they actually nailed the marshmallow and graham cracker. It almost smells like the smell, and the taste will see. The smell get you? Did you take a sip?
I didn't take a sip. It's so bad, bro. It's smelling a jar of empty pickles. Like where it's just the juice.
So this smells like, you know those like marshmallow candies where it's just marshmallow covered in chocolate, like a mallow.
Oh yeah.
It smells like one of those.
Nice.
All right.
So
cheers. He's got so happy it's pickles. That's the name of this episode.
And I'm chasing it with a Coke.
So happy it's pickles. Cheers.
Oh. 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 The aftertaste is so bad. It starts with a fucking aftertaste. Oh. Oh. That's not a great relief. This is what my night looks like now. A sad dill pickle bottle and a melted Death Star. How's
that
your shot?
That looks like the cover of like Kurt Cobain's memoir. It's not. It's unfinished though.
Oh, of course it is. They got some stuff on the pages.
Smear edition.
What are we doing tonight, Mike, for Dudes After Dark?
We'll figure that out in between. We're going to go ahead and close this one out, and then you can see us back on the post show. We're going to do some Dudes After Dark. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us wherever you get this show. So happy it's pickles.
It was not good. It was not good. Oh.
Yeah? Normally we're more talkative during this part, but
you should have already hit end. You'll get your timing down eventually.
Yes.